Hi viewers, how are you? Today our class cell wall. In last class we have discussed about the structure of cell, plant cell and animal cell and what are the differences between the plant cell and animal cell. Now we will discuss one by one what are the parts are present in the cell and what are the cell organelles. So first we will discuss about cell wall. We know about the cell wall. It is a outermost layer of the cells. The cell wall is present only in plant cells. It is absent in the animal cell. First observed by a scientist, his name is Robert Hooke. Who first discovered the cell? Robert Hooke. The first cell wall observed by Robert Hooke, because he observed the cork tissue in the microscope. He saw the number of chamber-like structures. So this is a cell which is surrounded by the cells. I am showing here a complete cell. So like this type of only cell wall consisting cells he observed, so that the cell wall is first identified or discovered by Robert Hooke. The cell wall is present only in the plant cells. It is absent in animal cells. See, the cell wall is very complex. It is not a simple structure. Cell wall is very complex and it is highly differentiated in the tissues of the plant. In single plant, it is differentiated in the different type of the parts. And also the cell wall is the special sequence arrangement. The cell wall is contained a special sequence of the arrangement in its structure. So what is the difference in the structure? How the cell wall is formed? What is the structure of the cell wall? Now we see. When we can observe the cell wall, it can show the 4 different layers. There are the 4 layers in a cell wall. One is the middle lamella, second one is the primary cell wall, third one is the secondary cell wall, fourth one is the tertiary cell wall. There are 4 layers are present in the cell wall, so that we can call it as a special sequence in their arrangement. So one by one we will discuss. First one, middle lamella. What is the middle lamella? After the cell division, we can observe between the 2 cells a specific cell plate is formed. This I will show in a small diagram. See, this is a cell. After the cell division, that means after the formation of 2 nuclei, after the telophase, 2 nuclei are separated. Between the 2 nuclei, there is a small plate-like structure is formed. Here this is called as cell plate. This cell plate is made up of which structures? The work of the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex. The tubular structures of the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex, they are formed as the cell plate like structure. Those are called as pragmoplast. This part is called as pragmoplast. After the formation of the cell plate, it is converted or it is changed into a specific cement-like, glue-like structure. It is formed as a cement-like, glue-like structure. It can separate the 2 cells. This is called as middle lamella. It is made up of calcium and magnesium pectates. Cell plate is or middle lamella is made up of calcium and magnesium pectates. So this middle lamella is a cement-like structure which can fix the cells in their specific place. That means the cells can't move with the help of this cement or glue-like structure. Some are the cells in mature condition, some are the cells, this middle lamella become dissolved. In that time, the cells become loose. We can observe this type of loose of the cells in the fruits, mature fruits. This is the first structure, that is middle lamella. which is formed between the two nuclei immediate after the cell division. Then second one. Now we are discussing about the wall. This is not a wall, it is a separated structure. Now primary wall. The first wall which is formed in the cell, so it is called as primary wall. The primary wall is formed due to the deposition of the chemical compounds. Those are cellulose and hemicellulose. This is a two nuclei. So I am removing here. We are studying about the only cell plate, cell wall. So now it is a middle lamella which is formed here. Both sides two are the cells. So second one is primary cell wall. This is one cell, this is another cell. Inside the cell, the number of chemical compounds are present. These chemical compounds are deposited on this middle lamella. This wall is called as primary cell wall. The primary cell wall is made up of cellulose and hemicellulose fibrils. In this primary cell wall, most of the material is hemicellulose, little bit of cellulose is present. Due to the presence of hemicellulose, the cell wall become flexible, more flexible and permeable. It is a cell wall, but it contains the cellulose, hemicellulose. Due to the presence of hemicellulose, the cell wall is permeable. That means it can transport the material from one cell to another cell. So due to the presence of hemicellulose, less cellulose, it is a flexible and it can show elasticity. That means after the maturation of the cell become enlarged its size after the formation of primary cell wall also. But sometimes not only the cellulose, sometimes cutin, wax-like substances are reaches here. Due to the mixing of cutin and wax, the cell wall become impermeable. It is a permeable, but due to the deposit of the cutin and wax-like material, it is the impermeable wall. See here, this is a primary cell wall of this cell. So here also same, this is a primary cell wall of this cell. I am showing both sides. Some area the cell wall is not formed. There is absence of cell wall. So the wall is formed up to here only. Here also same. The wall is formed here only. Only middle lamella is present. This area is called as primary pit field. This area is called as primary pit field, where the primary cell wall is not deposited on middle lamella. Through this area, among the cells, see here, like this. Only middle lamella is present. Middle lamella here, 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 here. Due to these gaps, the cytoplasm of the one cell can connect it to the another cell. These cytoplasmic strands are called as plasmodesmata. This part is called as plasmodesmata. Cytoplasm can connect the remaining cells through this area, the primary pit fields. So this is about the primary wall. We can observe the primary wall in the meristematic tissue. Which cells are smooth and soft and divisible, the primary wall is present in that tissue. And also we can observe the smooth tissue, that is parenchyma, and it can present in the young cells of the plant. It can present in the meristematic tissue, the smooth and soft storage tissue, that is parenchyma, and also it can present in the young cells of the plant tissue. This is about the primary cell wall. It is made up of cellulose and hemicellulose. Then next, secondary cell wall. The chemical composition of the cellulose, more deposit of the cellulose, it can form as the secondary wall. Generally, after the maturation of the cells, the secondary wall is deposited. So now I am showing here, this is a secondary wall. Secondary wall of this cell. Now here, secondary wall of this cell I am showing here. This is the primary wall, this is the secondary wall. Secondary wall is very thick than the primary wall. After the maturation, the secondary wall is formed. The chemical deposition from the cytoplasm, the chemicals are deposited on the primary wall, it can give the secondary wall. The secondary wall contains the 3 layers. You can observe here, first layer, second layer and third layer. These secondary layers we can show here, S1, S2, S3. 3 layers are present. The secondary wall is made up of cellulose and hemicellulose. But here cellulose is more, hemicellulose is very less. That means here in primary wall, hemicellulose is more, cellulose is less. But in the secondary wall, cellulose is very high quantity and hemicellulose is low quantity. Here why we are showing the 3 layers, S1, S2, S3. See here, the 3 walls are same, but arrangement of cellulose fibers are different. Some are here horizontal, some are parallel, some are longitudinal. Like this, arrangement of the cellulose fibrils are different, but composition is same. This is a secondary wall. It is very thick. After the formation of secondary wall, that cell can't change its size. It is very strong layer. Not only the cellulosic material, it can contain the non-cellulose material also. What are the non-cellulose material? That is here in non-cellulose material is cutin, lignin, suberin and minerals. What are the non-cellulose material? Cutin, lignin, suberin and minerals. When the cutin is formed inside this secondary wall, it is called as cutinization. When the cutin is composed with the cellulose, which is called as cutinization. When lignin is formed, it is called as lignification. It is called as lignification. When the suberin is present, generally suberin present in the cork. Suberin is present in the secondary wall, that is called as suberization. It is called as suberization. Sometimes calcium oxalate like materials also present in the cell wall. In that time we can call as mineralization. These are the inorganic material minerals, so that we can call as mineralization. Cutinization, due to the presence of cutin, due to the presence of lignin, lignification, due to the presence of suberin, this is called as suberization, due to the presence of minerals, that means calcium carbonate, calcium oxalate like crystals, so it is called as mineralization. So that means the secondary wall contain the not only cellulosic material, non-cellulosic materials also present. Due to the formation of this material, it is very thick and very strong. Generally, after the formation of the secondary wall, the tissue become dead because due to the formation of thick cell wall, there is no cavity inside the cell, there is no cytoplasm is present, and also here the connections are very less, so that the cell become dead. Where we observe the secondary wall in the plant tissues? Generally, the epidermal tissue, where the protection is essential, the epidermal tissue of the leaf, epidermis of the stem, and the inner, that is the xylem tissue, which is very strong, where the tissue give the mechanical strength to the plant, that tissue contain the secondary wall. So this is a secondary wall. So here we will discuss about another part in the secondary wall, that is about pit. See, first we are said here primary pit field after the formation of the primary wall. Then here after the formation of the secondary wall, the secondary wall also same leave the space at the primary pit area. This area is empty, that means there is no wall formation as same as the primary main wall. This area is called as pit, where the plasma desmata are connected from the one cell to another cell. This area is called as pit. So here the pits are two types. We are observing here this pit, this is the middle portion. This is cell inner, that means outside first form the this middle lamella, then primary wall, then secondary wall. This is the outside to inside. The first wall, primary wall, is outside, secondary wall is inside. When we see here from outside to inside, the gap is same. That means it is the only a circle like structure. We can observe a pipe like structure. This is called as simple pit. When the pit is same from outside to inner side, a circle manner, the radius is very same manner from outside to inside, this is called as a simple pit. But in some of the plants, another type of pits also present. So I will show here. See, this is a simple pit. Here the structure, the depositing of the secondary wall deposited on the primary wall, which is formed as a funnel like structure. That means extra growth is occurred here. Due to the extra growth of secondary wall, it is formed as a funnel like structure. This is the one cell, this is the another cell. It is also same. So when we are observing the one cell, it is like this form. This is a secondary wall. Here it is formed as like a bow like structure or funnel like structure. This is the formation of secondary wall. Now you can observe from outside to inner side, this area is formed as a larger circle, and inner side it is looks like a small circle. Now it is looks like a circle covered by the border, so it is called as border pits. It is called as bordered pit. This is a simple pit which can show here from outside to lower side same. It is formed as a single circle. It is a simple pit. So this is called as bordered pit. These bordered pits are present in the xylem tissue, brackets of the xylem tissue only. So here when these border pits are formed, the middle of the middle membrane here, middle lamella is present, which is become thick. The middle lamella, the layer is become thick. This portion is called as torus. This is called as torus. So what is the function of torus here? The function of the torus is it can become act as a valve. It is act as the valve. It can regulate the transportation of material from one cell to another cell. That means after the formation of secondary wall, after the formation of border pits, it can regulate the transportation of material. That is the function of the torus. Next, the fourth wall, that is tertiary wall. Tertiary wall is the last wall. It does not found in all the plant cells. Only the tertiary wall is found in the tracheids of the gymnospermic plants. These are present in the tracheids of the gymnospermic plants. Then how the tertiary wall is formed? The secondary wall, the next wall is the tertiary wall. Then how it forms? This is the innermost wall, which can form as the, this is the inner wall, that is the tertiary wall. It can form as the irregular manner or finger-like structures. This is a cell. So this is a inner membrane which is formed as like this manner. This is the inner wall or tertiary wall, generally which is found in tracheids of the gymnosperm. This wall is made up of, that means the chemical composition of the tertiary wall is, that is xylon. Xylon is a chemical compound which is present in the tertiary wall. It is present only in the tracheids of the gymnosperms. It is not found in the angiospermic plants. So these are the four layers which are formed as the in sequence manner in the cell wall. First one is a, which one? That is a middle lamella. Next, inner side, primary wall. From inner side of the primary wall, secondary wall. And last, complete inside of the cell, that is the tertiary wall. So this is about structure and formation of the cell wall. Okay. Thank you very much.